Blank Beats Production. Blank Beats Production. Blank Beats Production. Blank Beats Production.
Calling out all my nerds, freaks, and geeks. It's mob time.
Don't tune in to the showtime. Go ahead and call the gang up for the one time. Rap, food, rhyme, got them on the line. And my life's still great, I'm doing just fine. Hands up.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Blerd Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I'm your host, Foop. I'm joined today by Ron, King, and Antoine. Does anybody else hear that buzzing noise?
I think that's Galvin.
You
So
got
that's
some-
me buzzing.
You was buzzing like that when we was in this
I
green
don't
room.
know what's buzzing now because there's literally nothing on.
You got your phone near your microphone?
It's going
It's
away.
over here.
Because
Push it away.
I know Ryan's phone.
Is it still buzzing?
A little bit.
Mute yourself, and let us check to make sure it's actually you. Yes, you.
Oh, I hear. Oh, my computer fan is on. Is that loud?
You got a laptop?
Yeah, it's a laptop.
Unplug your charger so the fans can calm down, and it will go down over time.
I guess not live technical issues. I hear that. I'm like, oh, I do hear a little drone, and it's the fan. I guess she got to, crank on up. Don't do her. Don't do my fan.
We don't hear it now. And Say says it's gone. We just had to get that under control for a minute because I ain't want to be hooping and hollering trying to talk over your computer fan.
Yelling over that fan.
Right. But so if you're watching this on YouTube and if this is your first time watching us, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video and hit those bell notifications. If you're watching us on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. If you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you like the page and share the video. For our X/Twitter users, let us know how you're feeling about this episode. Use our hashtag join the mob nerds. And send us a little donation if you're feeling nice. Use our Ko-fi link. We've also attached it to the comments. So check that out. It goes to equipment.
Ooh, now she cut out.
Oh, not your mic finna be doing
Everything's
this. Oh,
just
Lord.
ghetto. Ooh, what's going on today?
You know what, y'all? Utilize that Ko-fi link. It goes towards equipment, keeping the lights on. Gets Galvin's computer a better battery and a fan. It gets Portia a better mic. We need better lights. We need to keep Antoine's smile white. Let's go.
I don't know what's going on. It's only when I get in here.
And the buzzing got louder on your end, Galvin.
It did get louder. This so crazy. We gonna get through this though. So we got a couple comments. Let me get this off the screen. Lord Jesus. But we got Sage in the building. Sage said, "How we doing, mob?" As you can see, Sage, we are going through it.
Yes, a lot.
We are going through it, but we gonna make it through this Mortal Kombat. I got my boys to let me know when my mic go out. And we just gonna have to go through. But we are here today.
Yeah, Galvin, turn your mic volume down.
Yeah, that might work.
Hello. Ah! Y'all make some noise, the fuck? No, I'm just playing.
Give it up for Sexy Red.
Okay, I just clicked the button that said reduce mic background noise, but it says new.
That did help.
Okay, they helped. That definitely helped.
All right.
Okay.
Say said, I forgot you cut your hair. I did. I snipped. Had to get that on. I had to get that on out of here. But so we got Galvin under control. I have no promises with my microphone, so y'all just gonna have to let me know. But we are here today to do a mob review of Mortal Kombat 1. If you were here before we did our review on the beta, today we're going to be doing a review on the full game. So that includes the full campaign, invasions mode, local play, online play, basically all of the elements that came with the Mortal Kombat full game. So we'll definitely be revisiting some topics that we discussed in the beta and some more. If this is your first time listening to a mob review from us, I just want to let you know that even though this is a video game, this is going to be a spoiler-filled mob review. So if you haven't played Mortal Kombat 1 and you want to, especially for the campaign, if you want to skip on this, play the campaign, come back and listen to our thoughts, please do that. If you played the campaign and the only thing you haven't done is Invasions mode or online, it's up to you. So before we get into the conversation, how are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's Thursday. Friday Junior.
Yeah.
Friday Junior.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
still thinking about them oysters back home. Food.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna cap to you. Forget what everybody talking about, bro. I like food. Food introduced me to an oyster bar, bro, and I miss it, dog.
That's where you spent all your money at. We ran up a check in that restaurant
We
twice.
ran up a check. They need to sponsor us because I'll proudly mention them.
Next time we just gotta go to happy hour. We have to go to happy hour.
Look, I just needed my lemon drop. Them I could eat 48 oysters. They were delicious.
Not 48 oysters.
I definitely could have ate 48 oysters like that girl. I'm not mad that she went in that restaurant and ate 48 oysters. I'm upset that you went in there and ate 48 oysters is recording yourself audibly slurping every single one out them shells.
I'm just
That's
mad
crazy.
she ain't share. You know how long it takes to like go through that and the way to
She
gotta bring
sure
you
ain't
some more.
share.
Like
So
Buddy ain't getting none.
I don't know if Buddy just don't like oysters or if he was just scared to ask. Like
They
if you
was like,
if you
perhaps
sit
a
down,
salad.
perhaps not. She ate 48 oysters, drunk 3 lemon drops, and then got her some crab cakes and some potatoes.
And you know she was tipsy. 3
I
lemon
mean,
drops and the
my
oysters
girl
ain't
was
that
hungry.
She was hungry, all right, and she paid that hungry ass bill too.
So y'all would be up for oysters, some crab cakes.
You said what, Gal? Now your internet messing up. Oh Lord.
You going in and out, Galvin.
The internet ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah,
Your roommates.
Yikes.
it's one of them that have the internet.
We paid it though.
The bill paid. I know. If anything, the bill is paid.
Oh man.
You gotta pay for that fiber optic, Antoine. You can't get
He ain't
that.
paid for that check. No, I'm
Look.
just playing. Let me get out his business. I don't know what he do with that bill.
You over here skipping out getting 300 megabytes.
King just wake up in the internet page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just wake up in the internet page.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go ahead and hop into this mob review before everybody's stuff start acting up.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to start with is the first question we have is how did we feel about Mortal Kombat 1 overall? How does it compare to previous Mortal Kombat games? And was this a good reboot for the series?
It was solid, but it is not my favorite. I definitely would probably pick 11 over it. Only because 11 capitalized really well on what they introduced in 10. 9 was pretty much really different from 10 and 11, but 11 was definitely my favorite in the recent history. It was good, but we'll get into why I think 11 is better.
It was good. I think my favorite is 10. 10 is my favorite. I mean, Mortal Kombat 1, it was good. I'm not gonna say it was better than 10. I mean, it was better than 11. I guess kind of on the same level. The graphics are better and stuff like that. But as far as like the awe factor of it all, it was same as 11. But 10 is my favorite. I don't know why. But the way they play on 10, the gameplay is much faster. It's like much smoother with MPX. I don't know. It's just something about MPX. But 1 was good.
About you, Antoine?
I agree with King. I mean, I didn't have 11. I played it through on y'all systems, but I had 10. I enjoyed 10 a lot. I got excited for 10 when it came out. I was like, when 11 came out. And I got excited for this one when it came out, and I've enjoyed it. So overall, it gets a good score from me. I like it.
I definitely agree with you guys. 11 is definitely my favorite, but MK1, we're gonna get into this later.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. I thought it was me that somebody stop embarrassing me.
Just close out Discord and every other app that might have a mic connected to it. Food.
I close out everything. My computer not even on right now. That's how I close out everything is.
Not your computer not on.
My computer not even on. Like, I just shut everything down.
Man, this one doing this before.
It just started doing this in the last episode. I don't know what's going on with your
I don't
stuff.
know what's going on with my stuff, man.
But say what you were saying.
What I was saying is that I agree with y'all. 11 is definitely my favorite. We're gonna get into this a little bit later with the storyline, but almost was a good reboot to the series. I have a
Mm.
very large nitpick of how they did this storyline that
Yeah.
basically just ruined the whole thing for me. But it's definitely fluid.
Mm.
I was rewatching our beta conversation where King had established that the beta felt familiar, and it definitely does. Is was pretty smooth. The way that it functions. But I definitely think it's a solid game. I thought it was pretty good, but I think I have some nitpicks that just doesn't take it to the top for me.
Funny thing about the story, I predicted the ending.
Ryan did
You
predict the
did.
ending, and that pissed me off as
It
well.
did
How dare
because
you predict the ending?
That's all they
how
could
dare
do.
you predict the ending and how dare they execute that? That's not all they could. They could have did some other
No,
stuff with that.
when
They could have
when when
did.
when we get into it, they could have, but
They
They
definitely could have
could have.
done some shit because
I
They could have.
we got a couple
I
comments though. Dark Sage said 9 is my favorite. He said I like 10 more so for the guest characters. They got some guest characters lined up for one though.
Yeah.
I think we need to say why some of them were our favorite. Like 10 had them. It was easy to stream a fire combo on 10 if you shortened some of your combos and connected them better. 11 kind of broke that, but I like 11's customization and the way they further polished that, having different variants of your favorite character. I think they
Mhm.
polished it more than 10, which is why I pick 11. Strictly multiplayer customizations.
We got one last comment from Lucas. He says hi. Hello Lucas. Welcome to the live stream.
Lucas.
But I would agree with you as far as 11 like with the variations and stuff. Another thing that I feel like they missed out on 1 cuz going back to our beta conversation is that we thought variations were coming.
Oh, there you go again.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, friend.
Whoop, there it is. Whoop.
Whoop, there it is. We're going
I'm trying to laugh at her. My computer froze.
This is
You
ghetto.
finna blow up and he laughing.
I'm gonna have to get me a new mic. I don't know what's
What
going
happened
on.
to your old mic? Cause you're using that Yeti mic right now.
Yeah, the old mic used to go in and out too, so I got the new mic.
So it's a computer issue then, probably, or like a shortage in the USB port.
Listen, y'all, I'm gonna hop out, restart my computer, and hop back in real quick because
All right.
the conversation coming in later for me.
This live stream make us look unprofessional. We sorry, y'all.
Hey, we have way better live streams than this. We just having some technical issues. But what I was trying to say though is that we had said in the beta that we were looking forward to variations. There ain't no variations. You can customize your character, but there's no variations.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the reason was for that. I don't know if it goes back to Ryan's thing in the beta where he was saying that certain variations couldn't be used in online mode. And I don't know if they took that out just to avoid that situation again. But I feel like it was a missed opportunity, especially for this one.
Yeah.
I feel like it's due to the stuff that they added. Because like, you got to keep in mind, in replacement of variations, they brought back aerial combat. So instead of just that one line of combat, you got 2. And then you also got the cameos. I think it was just like, what can we put in that's not too much and what got to be taken out? And to be honest, I pick variations.
I'll give you that. They did add more stuff.
But does aerial combos really make up for variations though?
Not really, because I don't be doing no aerial combos.
I'll give you cameos.
Yeah.
I'll give you cameos because then you can make different combinations between mains and cameos. And in that retrospect, that's multiple variations of a character and a cameo. I'll give you that, but aerial combat?
The only reason I say aerial combat plays a part in it is because each character got about 6 to 10 aerial combos, or rather just 1 or 2 button presses, and variations could add up to that many combos when you would pick your different variants for each character alongside special moves. So that could play a part, especially now that special moves, some of them got variations while doing them in the air as well.
Yeah, and also you can do your cameos, finishing moves, and all that type of stuff. So they got stuff. It's just different.
And to be honest, if we could get into it, I barely use aerial combos or cameos. I
I'm gonna be
played the
honest.
whole story and ain't used neither.
There's only two. I played with majority of the cameos, and I honestly feel like some of them aren't worth it. Like we played with the cameos in the beta because they were there, and we wanted to see how the cameo system was going to work. But when I got to the full game, I really only used 2 cameos.
Yeah, and half the time I be forgetting I got them.
Same.
I'll be
The only
like,
time
oh, I ain't used my teammate.
The only time I use my cameos when I'm doing a throw, and that's because I kind of
Yeah,
have to.
yeah. So we'll keep moving on. The next thing I wanted to talk about is, let's start with the campaign. How did we feel about the storyline?
I think for the most part, especially the beginning, I enjoyed the storyline, like how it kind of all started with them. I don't know, in that restaurant with the whole fight when they towed grandma up and all that. Like I think it captured me. It brought me into the story. As we went on, I think midway through, I was like, okay, it still has my attention. I think the ending is kind of where I started dropping off a bit. But yeah, the beginning was cool for me.
The story in this Mortal Kombat, if I'm being honest, it was better than average, but it wasn't all that because aside from me being able to see as a Mortal Kombat fan what's the differences. Oh, this is the Lin Kuei versus what he used to be. This is how the Shirai Ryu was formed versus back in the day. This is how these characters know each other. Aside from that, it felt kind of predictable and it was cool. It was well executed, but it wasn't all of that, in my opinion. Especially once they start splitting timelines and everything, I was like, okay, MCU wore this down to the T. Other shows and movies done worn this down to the T. So it's kind of like, okay, we see how the Mortal Kombat's going to be established. It's not Battle of Realms, it's Battle of Timelines. Now, I mean, we had to get back to it, but it didn't feel. It didn't. Ugh, you know what I mean?
Fun fact, I realized what's going on to my mic. StreamYard wasn't using the correct microphone.
That's so crazy.
That's crazy.
That's so crazy.
So we gonna see if we good or not. But
yes.
Right. But hold on, let me
click, clack, 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 clack. She's coding.
I am coding. Engineers. I was trying to let King messaging King to let me know when he's ready to hop back in. But the story mode, one, I agree with Antoine. They had us in the first half. The way they were building up, like the changes to the character relationships, the characters themselves, the storyline, they were setting this up really damn good. And I was like, you know what? I like this. I like the way that people are being integrated. I like the way that everybody, like these new alliances and everything that's going on. Like, it was like, I was like, okay, this is a storyline. We got to the end when they were like, oh, it's multiple timelines, and everybody has their own version of where they beat Chronica and made their own new era. And I was just like, no. For the first installment?
Yeah.
For the first installment, this is what y'all want to do.
Well, that's the thing with a reboot. Here's the reason why I say they kind of had to do it. Because you got one or two routes, which is basically what the MCU is doing now. Once you go so big, you got one or two choices. Go back to being small and possibly not make everything you do seem like a big deal to the old fans, or find some way to make it go bigger. And they chose to go bigger. And that was the only one thing they could do. It wasn't all that. They executed on it decently, but it was
Sage asks, "How is this the first installment?" I meant
Reboot.
like reboot. For them calling this, them rebooting, and this calling this Mortal Kombat 1. I was with all of the character storylines changing, the new alliances and things like that. I was hoping for a bit more build up before we just hop straight
to
into
multiverse.
multiverse and multiple timelines.
But
So
even
I
if
so
they
I
multiverse stuff, the timelines ain't changed much. The character backgrounds, I mean.
right, but I understand what Ryan's saying because that's the trend. Unfortunately, multiverse is the trend in media and video games. Is the trend, and I just wasn't ready for Mortal Kombat to hop on that trend.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate that either. It felt like a cop out. Like that's the easy way to go. All right, ideas. Let's just do multiverses. Let's make 10 Liu Kangs. Like y'all could have sat at that drawing board and did so much with MK. Like I don't know. Maybe they should. If before I went to the multiverse theory, I would have started pulling from fan fiction. So I'm pretty sure y'all could have went on that fan fiction website and found some good ideas to use for that campaign. Like before y'all jump to let's make 10 different MK universes. Like I that part of the game I really didn't appreciate because I'm getting tired of that. Everybody doing it. Everybody's
I mean,
doing
they
it.
did the timeline thing in 11, which was really cool. But
Mhm.
then when you look at it, when you look at everything that's built up to Mortal Kombat 11, I thought that was really cool. And then with you guys considering this a reboot and then hopping into the multiverse stuff, it just felt weird to me.
Mhm.
And if you're gonna do it, fine. But I think the way that they executed, I think they have assed on the execution as well. Because
Mhm.
going back to Ryan's point, it wasn't really like they really didn't even dive deep into the different multiverses. It's just that everybody has their own new era.
Mhm.
And then we get to the end and we gotta fight up this big fat ass tower of meshes of different characters like Kano, Sonya Blaze, and Scorpion Johnny Cages.
There was like a
Even though
rated
I did
Sub-Zero
not,
mix.
You said what?
There was like a
even though I
rated
did not
Sub-Zero mix.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, King. What were you
even
about to
though I
say?
did not like that part, that the part about everybody getting their own timelines or different eras stream from 11. Because if you beat each person with the towers, each person gets their own era. So I guess
Mhm.
if you paid attention in 11, you would know that that was coming because my favorite era was Sonya Blaze era. Because I used to always beat the towers and listen to her little story at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, whatever. Y'all get your own era, but y'all could have waited to introduce it. Y'all could have gave us like two games, then when they bam, we got a billion infinite universes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
For
know.
this to
There's
be
other ways y'all
one,
could have done that.
I don't know. It's just for this to be one. The roots, the taking it back. I just they could have dove into the story. I don't know. I don't know. They could have just held it off a bit.
Well, that's the thing because like going back to that ideology of either you got to keep going bigger, keep going bigger. If they toned it down, we're in Luke Kane's universe, and to make it make sense to the story, Luke Kane wants everything to be cool. The Rams fighting in their little mini Mortal Kombats is like a 1v all of your guards and then one other person. And that's the story. Once you add Shang Tsung, I mean, maybe he could just be a little evil wizard and he's throwing stuff around, but then that's small. For them to top what happened in Mortal Kombat 11, honestly, Battle of Timelines was practically the only thing they could do, or Elder Gods, which I thought they could have done. Make all the Elder Gods come down and start fighting.
And
I
that's what I
just
feel like they should have built up to. Because what I feel like they could have done is they could have played on Liu Kang being the creator of the new era and him mentioning that the person with that most power always get corrupt. So that could have led into what Ryan was saying. He could have been on some fuck shit in his new era, turned evil, and the elder guys come down and be like, okay, now it's time to regulate because y'all couldn't up. Now we
mm-hmm.
got 3-4 games that look nice, and we didn't even touch them timelines yet. Then we get to the end, like, oh
That's
yeah, and then we got extra timelines plus these guys out here fighting among us.
and that's all I'm saying. It could because let's just go even backwards. Like we've complained about fan favorite characters not being in the game, but they pop up in this damn tower at the end of the game. Everybody got their own era, and we ain't even seen half the folks. The end credit scene is Havoc and them killing a variant of Jax, and Jack's not even in the game. So
Yeah.
I just feel like um
A lot of confusion.
a lot of confusion. But we got some comments from Sage. Um he said that every MK game you play them in arcade and they get their own timeline. He agreed with Ryan on his statements, and then he asked, don't we still have a DLC that potentially go more in depth? So I looked that up and I couldn't find the information about the DLC, about them making a part 2 to the story, but I did see a DLC of chapter 2 of Invasions mode. So I really don't know what's up with that.
Didn't Mortal Kombat 11 have a DLC that kind of extended the story?
Aftermath.
Mhm.
They could. They could make another DLC. I'm not hedging my bets on it, but they
I'm
could.
not. I think they're gonna pour into this Invasions mode just
Mhm.
because of how it's set up and these DLC characters and cameos.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know. The story. I'm gonna be real. It wasn't bad, but as a Mortal Kombat fan, I
Expected
McCool.
more. I expected more
Yeah.
out of it.
Mhm.
Like I think they like just reiterating what I said before. They were setting up a lot of good stuff in the first half of that story.
Yeah.
And even when you look at the character endings in the towers, like there's so much in it that you
Mhm.
guys could have just added to the story or saved it for Mortal Kombat 2 if that's what they're gonna call the 13th installment.
Mm-hmm. And we pretty much see what the story in Mortal Kombat 2 is going to be. Mortal Kombat's going to be a timeline battle. We're going to see the rise of the Shirai Ryu. We're going to see Cyrax and Sector.
Yeah.
And we might see Jade come up now that Melina only got Kitana
Well,
at her side and her dad.
so the funny I'm gonna wait on the character endings because there's a lot of like Easter eggs inside of those character endings on the towers. I want to keep the focus on the storyline though. How did you guys feel about some of the storyline changes in relationships, like Scorpion being Kuai Liang instead of Hanzo? The new relationship between Katana and Melina, and then the new relationship between Sindel and General Shao.
I would say
As a
I
Jade
like
fan, they were
the.
interesting. You
What'd
go.
you say, Ryan? Go ahead.
No, you can go. You can go.
I was going to say I like the Katana and Melina sister relationship thing because they've been sisters, but they just been like beefing all these games. You see, like every game these girls is beefing, and like we never seen like the sisterhood. Like you said, it was a sisterhood, and I'm not feeling that. Like, so I'm glad they was actually had a real sisterly bond to it. Like they was really like riding for each other. Like this my sister, and this sister finna be queen. Like don't play with my sister, because she finna be queen. Like.
Right.
I
And
like
it's kind
that
of like
too.
you don't want to be Queen Katana, no, because my sister would be queen, and that's my sister. Like I love that about that. Like it wasn't like no backstabbing, like power on the throne type stuff, and I really appreciate that.
A hard difference. I enjoyed that too.
Now, what were you saying, Ryan?
I feel like as a Mortal Kombat fan, it was touching. But I will say, as a non-Mortal Kombat fan, I think the story just looked solid. It was nice. Because like if you didn't play the previous ones, like there are still people like that. You wouldn't really see the significance of B-Hun and Kuai Liang being Sub-Zero and Scorpion. You'll just hear those names. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as a Mortal Kombat fan, it was cool. It's like, okay, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are brothers this time around. Smoked a little sidestep adopted brother.
Not
Okay, that's
sidestep
cool.
adopted.
You know, but you know what I mean? Like the Lin Kuei, instead of just being regular degular assassins, they're defenders of Earthrealm. That was fire. I kind of messed with that. It was interesting.
I agree. I definitely love the relationship between Katana and Melina because, like King said, they always been sisters, but they never really provided like emphasis on like what that is. Like 9, it's just like Melina showed up, and then 10, Melina died, and then 11, I don't even remember Melina being
Yeah,
in
I don't think
11.
in 11 at all.
So it was really just like this storyline that got started in 9 that was never really emphasized on. And I think they did a really good job emphasizing the sisterhood, building the relationship, and definitely giving Melina like, here's the throne. Like, ain't nobody trying to take this from you. Katana not trying to take this from you. Like, that's your number one supporter. She's in your corner. So I definitely appreciate.
And my girl Tanya. Don't forget about my girl Tanya and her
She looked better in the campaign. She looked better than
I told you they fixed it. I told you they fixed it in the campaign.
They did her right.
They did her face a little, they had a good
little touch up.
But why she had braids, straight hair, and what was it? And bangs. Now they fixed the face, but the hair. I think we should have. You should have emphasized on the face and the hair. I think we did too much on the face.
Y'all could have stuck with the braids. Y'all could have stuck with the braids.
But what was I about to say? I agree with Ryan though. On the outside looking in, I think they did a good job of like reestablishing that beef between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. And then with Sindel and General Shao, I thought it was very interesting to see their dynamic because, in 9 and then like in Aftermath, they all, this is my man. Thank you to my man. And then in 1, she was like, nah, I'm not fooling with you. Anything that you're talking about. And, so they put them at odds. And I was like, okay. I think they gave Sindel a bit more character too. From what I remember,
I was just going to say it gave Sindel a bit more independence because she was always linked to Shao Kahn. Like that was, like you said, that was her man. Like that was her secret husband behind Jared. Like he was always with Shao Kahn one. And I'm gonna scream at y'all for my man. But now that like she's like doing it for herself, she has independence. She actually has good. She cares about her daughters and her kingdom, and she not just screaming and tearing up stuff. Like,
right?
Yeah.
So how do we feel about? Because speaking of Sindel and her now not secret husband, how did we feel about Gerard, her original husband, being Ermac?
It was interesting.
I think it was a nice twist on that. I was like, not my boy Ermac.
Honestly, I like how they turned Tarkat into the franchise this time around. I kind of like how they did that Tarkat disease with Melina. That was cold.
One thing that, and I don't know if this will, come later in installments. One thing I did notice throughout the storyline that there wasn't a lot of villains. It was a lot of, I used to be a villain in this other era, but now I'm like, we siding with each other. Like you still got Bihan on the side trying to do whatever he want, but everybody else was kind of like, we all in this together. Like Baraka got himself together, Reptile, Ermac.
Yeah.
Even you could probably consider them like in the middle, but like even Shang Tsung and Quan Chi put their differences aside to like come together and help everybody out. And I was like, I guess I can see it from Liu Kang's perspective of making a new era that everybody needs to get along. Like this is my mega friendship move.
But campfire song.
Right. But I was, and like I said, maybe this will come later, but I was expecting a bit more bad apples to turn.
But that's the thing, Boy Scout Liu Kang. It was Boy Scout Liu Kang who controlled time, so this is his thing. That's how it is.
But I feel like we're gonna get that though. Go ahead, Antoine. My bad.
I was just saying in this timeline, no, they ain't got a whole lot of villains, but in the multiverse now they finna bring villains from. Now she fell out. They finna bring villains from the
I didn't
multiverse.
Fall out. Not you in my business.
Your camera went off. I just thought.
Hold on, y'all. We on live. Y'all.
But yeah.
No.
And so, what was you saying? Because I was going to agree with something you said a while ago.
He said, "But yeah," but I don't think
he said, "But yeah."
I said what I said. I said about how they didn't have a lot of villains in Liu Kang's world, but I think they're gonna pull the villains from the multiverses.
Are they though? Because the vibe I was getting is that it's going to be a battle of the Titans, being everybody from Mortal Kombat 11 who controls time now. From what I'm seeing, it seems like honestly, whatever was going on in his timeline is going to almost be irrelevant to a degree. Like you were going to get that Shirai Ryu story a little bit, but it seems like it's just Battle of the Titans.
That's why I was saying I hate that they did it so early. Because not everything else that just happens, all these other storylines are just irrelevant at this point. Because now what are we going to do about this big multiverse situation?
Unless all the Titans are going to be like, "Ooh, I'm sending in my soldiers." But even then, it's like...
I just really don't know how they're gonna move forward just because they dropped it. Like Ryan said before, like, okay, it was Mortal Kombat 11, and then how do you get bigger than Mortal Kombat 11? Okay, they did this, but then how do you get bigger than this?
We can worry about that 2 games from now.
I
Okay.
hope they not sitting in that room saying that. Please, Lord.
But I guess while we're on the topic, so what are you guys' theories about how you see the rest of Mortal Kombat going based off this?
I hope they bring back variations and get rid of cameos. But I just see Havoc being like, I don't know if Havoc is going to become like an Elder God or something. Because at the end of the day, if he's a Titan like Liu Kang, Kitana, and all the other folks they had out there fighting, I don't understand how he's going to garner that level of control to make it an official tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Or are they all just going to agree on it like a Battle of the Gods Greek mythology type scenario, or what? Also, I want to see if the Elder Gods are going to jump in. Like, I want to see how they're going to just look down at this and be like, y'all little Titan demigods are like messing stuff up here.
So I have a question about the Elder Gods. Do they exist outside of time? Like, is there only one set of Elder Gods?
I think so.
I believe so. Because did Chronica count as an Elder God? Shinnok was demoted to his version of a god.
Yeah, Shinnok was an Elder God.
I don't think.
But I don't remember. I don't think Chronica was an Elder God.
But in all the rest of the games, the Elder Gods never really jumped in it because they always used to tell Rain like, "That's y'all business." Like, we know they tearing y'all up, but that's y'all business, and we sit here and watch it. So it might be the same. Like, they might see all this and be like, we really can't do nothing. It's fake or whatever.
I could see that being a reason that they do jump in, though. If they're like, at this point, y'all have created too many timelines, y'all tearing up the universe, galaxy, the spirit, the nexus, whatever. I could see that integrating them, and then that could be the go bigger kind of perspective for the next Mortal Kombat installations.
Yeah.
Installments.
Where I could see this going, because they do this with a few time travel multiverse stories, is that if them doing this Armageddon, this big fight, bringing together all these multiverses, starts messing with time itself, and it's kind of like there are pieces, like there's areas of the realms that are like disappearing in like black holes, or like we have people from other multiverses that are sneaking in. So now you got doubles of people running around doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing. And things that I can see that serving as a good story, like the aftermath of Armageddon, but also being able to expand everybody else's storyline while trying to deal with the cleanup of everybody's multiverses combining.
I could see that being a thing. I could see that. I don't know, because you know what? Because at the end, even without the end credit scene, like Liu Kang was back, but they didn't let us know if he got rid of his God of Time powers again and became an Earthrealm protector again.
So if you play the tower, as Liu Kang, his character ending is that, I think
he get it back.
Yeah, he got his.
He's not immortal.
Right, he's not immortal anymore, but he does get his Keeper of Time powers back.
Okay, so he's like an in-between of just an Earthrealm guardian demigod and still got time powers.
Yeah, but he entrusted Garrus to watch over all of the hourglass and all of the different streams and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I could kind of see like him working with the Titans to fix up each and every person in the universe, probably sending in like, oh, here are the folks from my timeline, they're going to help your little timeline, and they could do that back and forth. I could see that. I could see that kind of being an interesting story, but
So Sage asks, can we go by the character tower endings though? Because that isn't canon, right? The way they are set up, I think they are canon.
That's what it seemed like.
That's what it seemed like to me. I think these are like epilogues for everybody's character coming off the ending, because they talked about what Melina did when she became queen. They talked about what Shao Kahn did when he broke out of jail, what Shang Tsung did when he broke out of jail, how Bi-Han was building up the Lin Kuei, and it leads into them making the Cyberlink way, because they were like, they wanted to make an army, but they didn't want to use magic because it was going to let Liu Kang know. So they decided to use science. And so that goes into the Cyberlink way. They talked about Smoke and Scorpion doing the Shira Ryu. So I think these are canon.
Yeah, I think the endings have always been canon, and I think that's the reason why they had to kind of like do the multiverse theory. Because if you go off MK11, like everybody had their own, and with the history of the towers, they usually are canon. Because go with X, like those endings at the end of X were canon. I can't really remember 9 and ones before that, but they're usually are canon.
And going to Sages, so no new Cybot comment. I feel like that's going to be Hanzo in the new games.
They said Takeda is supposed to be Hanzo. The Takeda DLC, they said that's Hanzo. Also, in Scorpion's, or it was either Scorpion or Smoke's tower ending, they get a recruit, and that's Hanzo.
I could see that being new Cybot in terms of abilities, though.
I could still see it being Bihan, though, depending on how they go with the storyline. It really just,
I don't know.
To me, it really just depends on how in depth they go with this Scorpion Sub-Zero beef.
Yeah, like, are we gonna get a brother killed the brother type scenario? It depends.
Right, like, is he gonna go so off the deep end that they're eventually going to have to kill him? And then in between that, is Bihan going to enforce some help from Quan Chi or Shang Tsung, and then they bring him back to life as Nude? So I don't know. Like I said before, I really wish they didn't go big.
Yeah, they went kind of too big in my opinion. They didn't have to go as big because we didn't ask for y'all to go big. We just asked for a new installment. We didn't ask for y'all to put all the buttons at the head. Like, I would have been fine had they just introduced this game with Liu Kang starting a new era. They introduced Raiden them. They introduced where Melina them stay at, and that's it. And they just built on that. And they introduced Chronicles at the end of this game. She talking to Shang, so we like, ooh, they beg. Now y'all can just. I feel like y'all should have drug it out. If y'all was gonna do this, y'all should have drugged me into this and drug me 4-5 games in and be like, bam, timeline. Now I'm just so invested to where like I might have been excited had y'all drug it. Y'all just dumped it on me. After the MCU dumped it on me, after DC dumped it on me, after somebody else dumped it on me, Rick and Morty them dumped it on me, the whole multiverse theory, like everybody just dumping it on our head, and it just wasn't a good time.
And feeding off of you, Galvin, help me to remember. I just beat the story, but I'm still confused. Edenia and Outworld are not merged into one in Mortal Kombat 1, right? They are still 2 different realms, correct?
I thought Edenia was in Outworld.
Yeah, Edenia is inside of Outworld. Outworld is a realm. Edenia is like a United
planet
States
within
like
Outworld or a country.
It's like a land or country, yeah.
Okay, I do agree. I feel like they could have done a better job exploring it, especially with Reptile's race and Megan Fox's race and all these other folks.
Not Megan Fox's race.
I feel like they could have done a lot better, a way better job at like, let's just actually do some world building.
Right.
Let's like really go in depth. Let's talk about the other worlds too. Like aside from Earth Realm and Outworld, let's talk about the NetherRealm. Let's go more in depth.
Yeah. Let's talk about how Jared died. Let's talk about how they kicked Lee May out the guard. Let's talk about how Kylie came in. Let's talk about how Melina came out the closet. Because I know y'all weren't okay with that when she first she got a girlfriend. I know y'all just went like, oh my god.
They slid that in there right quick and never went back.
They did slide it in. I was like, oh, so Melina like girls now.
I paused it and I was like, so they kissing. So Sage said,
started liking girls.
Sage said, I think we have to go big, but I think they could have went big in a different direction because I want to feed off of Ryan. We're getting you're changing character storylines. You're bringing back characters from old Mortal Kombat games. This was a perfect opportunity to really dive deep into the different realms, the different characters,
different stories,
and definitely and just build up to another big bad bit to rebuild the universe, because this is essentially what it is, Liu Kang's era, but rebuilding out how everybody fits into this new era. And for us to jump straight into the multiverse stuff, and we haven't even seen Jax, not as a main character, Sonya, Jade, like we're still missing a couple characters in this story that I feel like,
and the new characters we barely got to get into. And what's the girl who's a demon from the Nether? But she's trying to Ashura. Is her name Ashura? Yeah, I'm like, we saw a piece of her, and it's like, oh, who are you? I'm a demon from the Nether who uses my blade to become a human, basically. Oh, okay, let's keep that pushing. Like, we ain't seen none of that. Like,
it's
old
the tower.
fans,
It's the tower endings. If you don't play the tower endings, you don't know how nobody end up.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. For this to be the campaign, and the campaign is like new entries into the franchise. This is a soft reboot. You're supposed to show us this. We're supposed to reboot what the Nether is in Liu Kang's universe. We're supposed to see what Outworld is. What's going on behind the scenes? Is it all just glitz and glam outside of the Tarkat? Is there more? What about Aaron Black and other folks who somehow escaped Earthrealm and got into Outworld? Are there more of those?
What's Codal? Where's Codal in all of this? You know what I'm saying? It's Devora back. Like, you know.
All right.
Like, you brought back Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, but where everybody else at?
Yeah.
Like, I understand the combat kids. If we doing a reboot from the beginning, of course they're not. We ain't even seen Sonya Blade yet. Johnny Cage married to this other girl that I've never seen before. So it's like it's a minute before they gonna show up. But like, I think we were missing a couple people that could have been introduced without getting to the big multiverse thing. Now, what King was saying, we get a couple games in, and the big plot twist is like, boom, multiverse. Then it's like, okay, we've built up. We understand how, the world works. We've built up some characters. We've built up some relationships. We get a bit more turmoil in this era before we start messing with other people's timelines and universes.
Yeah. And go to that most recent
comeback. I agree. Like,
which
then
one?
A couple games they
Possibilities,
they
or
could have just played with our feelings.
Which one?
The most recent one, the Possibilities one.
Possibilities are there. I don't expect them to go in depth because the story isn't their main priority.
Here's the issue. Everybody on this panel just said that this game is not the best. So what was your priority? And I'm not saying that obviously other people got different opinions.
I'm going to tell you what their priority was. I'm going to tell you what the priority was, because that Invaders mode is actually pretty damn good.
It did seem interesting. Yeah, I couldn't go in depth with it yet.
Invasion mode is lit.
I'm gonna tell you where the focus went.
Invasion mode is lit.
So I give them from extending the story, because usually Mortal Kombat story is like 2 hours and something, and then you just go play. I commend them for making this a bit longer. I just don't like the ending. I just don't like the ending.
And I felt like if they did do more of the story, maybe that could have been what made this Mortal Kombat knock out the ballpark. Like, it was good. It wasn't average, but it wasn't amazing either. I thought this Mortal Kombat, being that they're saying it's a soft reboot, they did some great marketing. Like, really great marketing.
I think the marketing was, let's take it back to the roots. Let's start over. So you would think we're going to get all the stories and how they like incorporate into the entire Mortal Kombat universe, but it's just, we got a couple stories, boom, multiverse. And that was it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't disappointing, but it's like, send me a quart of milk. Here's a quart of milk. Damn, no Oreos. Like, it was just like they gave you what you wanted, but it's like they hyped it up and said, I'm gonna give you the best milk ever. And it's like, it's some milk, but
so Sage said he thinks they misadvertised it because this is more of a reboot sequel, and he considers MK9 more of a reboot. So I could see it from that perspective, because if we go from the outside looking in, this is really a continuation of what happens after 11. They're calling it MK1. They're saying that this is a reboot, but you have to know what happened in MK11 to really understand like why they're in the situation that they're in MK1, and especially at the end where everybody started showing up talking about their timelines and stuff. Because then it's like, okay, what the f? Like, who's chronicling?
Yeah.
It's really a soft.
And now that we're talking about it, I don't like that. Food that now that you pieced it together, I don't like the fact that this is kind of like a continuation of 11. Because if y'all gonna reboot, I was thinking like this would be brand spanking new. Like, I ain't gonna get nothing about Chronicle,
fresh out
that
the
dirt
oven.
she was slanging, none of that. Like this is gonna be
You
something
hungry,
gimme, like
He said, "Not you hungry."
like. But now that you piece it together like that, it is a continuation of 11. And now I'm mad.
I don't understand. Do they just not like the number 12? Like, are they like Apple when they made iPhone X instead of iPhone 10 and then came back with iPhone 11? Do y'all not like the number 12?
Samsung did the exact same thing. We skipped to the Samsung 20 when it was supposed to be like the 12, I think, and they did it to match the years. I'm like, what's the point in this?
Like, do we not like the number 12? Because this is essentially what this is.
It is 12, yeah.
Like
so if we look at it, so now we got to bring it in perspective. We did all this complaining, but let's really put this into perspective. If this is a continuation of Mortal Kombat 11, then the aftermath of them combining timelines, like with Aftermath and stuff, and then beating Chronica, MK1 is technically the aftermath of MK11, where everybody got their own new era, and it was just, bound that somebody was gonna creep into somebody's timeline and cause some shit, and it was just Shang Tsung to do it first.
Because there was no reason for Liu Kang to be up in here kissing Kitana again. Like, no, you created a new one. Like we back here. Like you basically said none of this mattered.
Sage said it's like when they call MK9 just Mortal Kombat. When they start over, they title it different. Well, I go back to what you said, and they misadvertised it. Yeah. They misadvertised it.
It was a marketing ploy, and it worked. We all pre-ordered it. It worked.
And I see why they say reboot. I mean, because what if
the
story?
It's a soft reboot.
I would say
it's soft.
Kind of the
It's soft. Like, it's real soft.
Yeah, like y'all could have kept the reboot. Y'all didn't have to. I was gonna buy it regardless. I was gonna buy MK12 if that motherfucker was just a replay of 11. If you just copied and pasted 11 and put 12, I was gonna buy it because I'm an MK fan. Stop lying to people. But I guess
market the truth. What we say last time, Ron? Market the truth.
That's what I'm saying. Because in real life, most Mortal Kombat fans, we're no better than 2K fans, Call of Duty fans. We're going to get the next iteration.
Right, we're going to get it.
I was going to get this regardless.
Right.
It don't matter. The only thing I'm upset about is I don't have friends to play it in person with. And I got trash Wi-Fi that I got to play online with. That's my only issue. I didn't expect this to be Game of the Year. I just don't like that y'all told me something.
You said what?
If you give him a PS5, we all can play whenever. But
he got a PS5.
Oh
no, I can play online, but like when your Wi-Fi skip and it's frames matter a lot in a fighting game. That
for you.
Yikes!
But that's what I'm saying. I wish I would have expected them to do more since they just claimed they were going to do so much more. Like we hyped this up almost as much as Hogwarts Legacy as a podcast.
We did.
We hyped this much up almost as much as Hogwarts Legacy. And if y'all compared this review to our Hogwarts Legacy review, we ain't all smiles like we used to, like we was originally.
It's not the same. I think we all think we were all misguided going into this game. So, and Sage made a couple good points. He said reboot, sequel is a newer term everybody doesn't know. Most people know what a reboot is. So, and that's true, but then also everybody has a different definition in their head of what a reboot is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, you can look at this and say it's a reboot because somebody look at it, but I mean, the character backstories are different. I mean, stuff is different. So yes,
and that's what you would.
In the grand scheme, put that boot back on.
Not put that boot back on. So I would definitely go with Ryan's term of this is a soft reboot. If they're gonna call this a reboot, this is a soft reboot. This is not a hard set factory settings Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
they didn't do a
wanted.
factory set. They just kind of like
some
stuff.
I wanted them to go in the settings and are you sure you want to delete everything off this phone? Yeah, like Start over from scratch. Like
So Sage asks, is this a reboot or a restart? And you honestly could call it a restart.
You could.
yeah, restart.
Yeah.
More reboot. Yeah.
And what sucks is they pretty much did the same things. Like, don't get me wrong, the Armageddon scene and all that came off a little cool, but it's like we got Armageddon, we got all of that,
Right.
and we got all shoved into one game. So it's like
they got General Shao talking about their Armageddon. And I was like, y'all cannot be for real right now.
I was honestly a little disappointed. I was like, I see what y'all was going for.
When we got to that point where old Raiden and Kitana and them showed up, I was like, y'all, please. No, it was going so good.
Mm-hmm.
Then they gave Katana and Liu Kang a little kissing scene, and I was like, come on.
I was like, when they start kissing the MK, like,
For real.
It was like, are you or my Kitana?
We ain't even seen, he froze.
He did. Ooh.
We ain't even seen Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade kiss. Have they kissed on Mortal Kombat? And they got kids.
right. I don't think.
I
Let
just
them be a little kissy.
Not a little kissy. But we've done our ranting on the campaign. I want to hit the next topic. So we're going to step outside of the campaign and we're just going to go into the other modes. We're going to start with basically like local, and then if anybody's online play, please chip in. But let's talk about the roster. So now that we have access to all of the characters from Mortal Kombat 1, I got a couple questions. Are we satisfied with the final roster? Who's your favorite main character? Who's your favorite cameo character? And who is your favorite main cameo combo?
I'm gonna say this about the roster. I'm satisfied. Y'all, even though y'all left my girl Sonya up there, one thing, the only reason I keep saying that Sonya has always been a starter five for MK since they created the CD back in '95. How you take one of the starting fives out? How you play a game and take LeBron off your court and be like, go sit down somewhere? Like, what?
That's how they're trying to bring you into the next one.
But my thing is,
the roster is nice though. It's nice.
Here's my counter argument to what Antoine said. So I was watching the character endings because I wasn't gonna play a tower with all them people. I just wanted to,
that's what I should do. Go on YouTube.
Know what was up. So Kenchi's character ending is that he meets Jax and they start this agency. So then it's like, okay, y'all putting Jax in, but nobody's thing had Sonya in it. So I was like, so not only was she left out the game, she not even in the character endings. Like,
y'all better introduce her number 2. Y'all better be like, oh, this is my girl Sonya. I feel like.
I know they mentioned Jade at some point though.
No, they didn't.
No, they did in the campaign. They just said it like when Liu Kang met up with regular Kitana. He's like, there could be different people across the universe, across the realms, and he said Jade and some other people. I was like, okay.
Well, wouldn't that be Mortal Kombat 11 Jade though, and not a restarted Jade?
He still said Jade.
He said a win is a win.
A win is a win.
He said a win is a win.
They better bring my girl out of number 2. That's all I'm gonna say. They better bring Miss Sonya out of number 2. But I'm not the roster overall now. I'm not mad at it. I'm not. They got some good fighters.
Okay.
After playing with her, Lee May is my favorite. I love her combos, especially after the beta. Now that I got to play with her, she was my climb up the tower character that I picked. Mm-hmm. Cameos, I can't even give you a favorite because I don't care. Just being honest. The roster is solid though. I must say that there's a little bit of a meta to some of the characters, like Ashura changing the color of her blades, and some characters being more close in, and you can throw in a cameo to help out with distance. That the meta's there, the roster's solid. I do miss Jade, but it's solid.
What about you, Antoine?
I like the full roster. My favorite character, Johnny Cage. I said that about the beta too. Yeah, I actually enjoyed Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage, I enjoyed him in this game.
This is the best feeling Johnny Cage, not gonna lie. This
like
Johnny Cage feels good.
I like his moveset, his combos, all that. I like him.
Johnny Cage in 11 was better than me.
I didn't play with him at all in 11.
I don't think I played with him a lot. I may have played with him
I didn't play
times,
with him in 11.
But I guess I'll say my favorite cameo is Darius. I choose him the most.
Darius.
Darius.
Yeah. I like Darius.
Y'all just like swinging him around.
I like swinging him around, and then when you do the grab, when they pass you around, I say pass him around. But I think the roster is solid. I said this before on one of the podcast episodes, is that they really made it enticing to play with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know we threw a fit about Megan Fox, but like every gameplay trailer really like emphasized these characters' movesets. Like, I don't remember watching any of these trailers and was like, I don't think I'm really gonna play with them. Like, everybody's moveset was pretty solid. So I think even though we're missing some characters, I think that the new movesets that they've given everybody in the way that everybody moves and how they move with the cameo characters, I think it's solid. I think it makes up for it. My favorite cameo is definitely Darius, and then my second would be Scorpion, just because he got that thing where he can pull you back. Yeah. I'd be like, come in right quick. Because I did that a couple times when me and Antoine was playing. I was like, well, wait a minute, come here. And then I still like Frost.
I forgot.
Okay.
Frost is all right.
Main character, my boy Scorpion is there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Scorpion is nice.
My boy Scorpion is there. I still like Lee May. What I was not expecting from this game was this game to make me a Melina fan.
Melina.
Melina has a nice moveset.
She has a nice moveset.
And the moveset on top of her storyline, I was just like, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because usually Melina was like that guaranteed we all dislike her character. Mm-hmm. And now it's like,
yeah.
I really like how they did her in this story. Like, we talked about her relationship with Katana, but like herself as an established character.
Yeah.
She wasn't so mean-spirited as the old Melinas. Like, she wasn't a mean girl. Like, she was rough around the edges, and of course they had to make it what they always do to lesbians. They make them a little bit tough. Because Tanya was a bit tough too. Like, bitch, don't play with me. They can do that with all lesbians to beat her. But she still was like a kind, like, she still had her feminine side. Like, she on the bed, Tanya, upset, girl, hold me. They hold me. Like, they just didn't. So I like that.
I need something to drink.
Yeah, like, I like that. Like, the old Melinas was always mean.
She was all evil. Rugged. I'm gonna get you, Katana.
What are y'all doing with y'all tongues? What are y'all doing?
That's how she be though.
For real, but my main was Tanya. I like the way she swang on from the ceiling. I don't know if y'all play with Tanya.
She's
her
my
ancestor grab her. She go to
her ancestors
swing from the chandelier.
She do be swinging though with them kicks.
She gonna swing. I love Tanya. Like, and pairing her with Darius, she just gives black power. It gives motherland. Like, don't play.
It is a nice though. And then what was I about to say? I kind of agree with Ryan. Like, I like Darius and Scorpion as cameos, but I honestly don't feel like I care enough to just like play with all these cameos, like to try all these combinations. Like, really, it's like you pick your cameo and that's your cameo.
Stick with them.
And I was telling myself to stop doing that. I want to actually go in this game, and because there's people that actually do stuff like that, they actually go in there and make it their business to play with each character, each cameo combination. Do this online, do this in the video, do this in the story. Like, maybe we not getting the full breadth of the game when we don't do stuff.
But my thing is that there's so many combinations, you know?
There's so many.
And then it's kind of like, once you find your main, what works for you, you get that one cameo that works with your main. So it's kind of like, do I need to switch?
And I bet none of y'all got the trophy yet for using all the cameos. I just got a trophy for using all the cameos.
No, I just told you.
Something about friends or something.
I just told you I didn't play with all the cameos.
I feel like
I got the
trophy. I don't know.
You lying.
I don't know.
Pull up your PSN account and let me see.
I'm gonna go put it up right now.
But I feel you though, Portia, because once you find because Darius gonna be my first instinct, like Darius, and just keep moving. I don't think to look at the rest of them. And
But then I wanna hop on Ron's thing. Like he said this real early. You know, it gets to the point where you barely use the cameos. Like sometimes you got to remember to use the cameo. So if I'm a barely remember to use the one I want, what makes you think I'm gonna go through the rest of them?
Right.
And like what I use my cameos for stuff I don't they're not necessary for, like combo breakers and actually doing a throw, like that stuff that they weren't necessarily needed for. Y'all just do that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aside from that, my cameo don't get used.
Not for real. I'll be like, oh yeah, let me use him.
Let me throw something at him.
Because you be in the heat of the battle and you just don't be thinking about it.
My issue is right now, at first, but I'm getting better, is that I was so used to like the enhanced controls on MK11 that I keep pressing that R1 button, then the cameo comes and I was like, I didn't mean to do that. Go back in there.
Yeah.
So sometimes I use them when I don't need to. But like going back to Ryan's point, like I use them when I don't necessarily have to. It's just fun to like swing Darius around and hit somebody in the
face.
And when they don't get hit when you call them out.
I hate that because every time Darius run out there and try to do a spin kick, he hit him, and I be like, just move.
Why are you here?
But what I am excited for, the roster is solid. What I am excited for is the DLC characters.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I'm gonna let y'all know now. 3 people that's gonna be nasty. Takeda, Ermac, and Omni-Man gonna be disgusting. They're gonna be disgusting. I know Takeda gonna come flip it and turn it and roll.
Takeda finna be nasty, especially if it's Hanzo. I wonder how they changed up his moveset.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next. This is our last piece of the conversation. So we had a couple extra modes in the game. I want to go into Invasions mode because that's where I feel like all of the investment for this game went into.
Yeah, and that's actually Invasions mode is my favorite part of the game. Like,
it really, like, once you get past that tutorial part, like being in Johnny Cage's thing, it goes up. Because I get the unattractiveness of it when you're going through Johnny Cage's thing because they're doing all these tutorials or whatever.
Pay attention to them, by the way. If you're gonna walk through his house, but take notes, pay attention, because once you go out, they don't let you back in. And what you don't know, you just don't know.
But it's so many fights, and it's kind of like, because I had this, like, I used to do like a fight and leave because I was like, this ain't really like grabbing my attention or whatever. It just feels like I'm running around doing fights. But once you get into that next area, it goes up. Yeah. And then that's when I really started getting into it. I think it's a really good way for you to like get good with whatever character that you got, because as you go through the different battles, like everybody's level goes up a bit higher. Then they got the different things. So you like towers, you do one-on-one fights, towers, the survival mode, the ambushes. Like they make it, like once you get out of that tutorial phase, they make it something worth coming back to Mortal Kombat 1 to play.
Because I would definitely go back and play Invasions mode. Like when I'm bored, I'd be like, let me hop on Invasions mode and just do a couple of jumps.
Like you get like in the rewards, so like pretty cool too. Like you get coins to buy new skins. Sometimes they give you new skins. You unlock new I've then unlocked a couple brutalities. And then I really liked it. Like once I really sat down and got into it, like it felt different from a tower, because like a tower you just move up. It's the same, you keep doing the same old different thing, and then you get to the top and then you beat it and then you're done. But then Invaders mode is just a continuous type thing, and they switch up the different challenges that you have to do.
Right. And it's like it's not like they keep you on your feet, because you're gonna fight. Every time you move, you're gonna fight. But in between that fight, you can get ran up on by 3 different people. Right. All types of stuff happen with the little board. Like it's like it keeps you engaged and keeps you on your toes. Like you got a tower, then you got to test your mic coming up, and you got survive shit. But I don't know what that is with them beams come from east side. I hate that. I lose that's so dumb.
Hey, Tester mic threw me for a loop when I was playing it in the campaign. I was like,
hey, that one with Barack.
I was like, just A or what? I was like, oh. It was
The
messing me
first
up.
one with Baraka, them folks had died by that poisonous gas so many times.
Portia
Before I
lost me
could-
like 3 times in my.
before I could figure out what was going on.
For real.
I was like, do I press all the buttons? Like,
It came out of
when do
nowhere,
I
though.
press the other button? Like,
But I
It
was
was like
gonna say,
test your
wait till
might.
you
I'm
get-
over here tapping the A button. I'm like, oh, all four. How am I supposed to do this?
But wait until you get to Avengers mode and do test your mind. They give you like the chickens or the human heads, but you can't hit them that hard. You gotta catch it low. That test
right,
is
yeah.
so hard.
between a meter. And
Yeah.
if you go over, you lose. You go under, you lose.
Yeah.
Like you gotta
That's
time it.
crazy.
That's why that
And
jump
then
so
the
hard.
thing about the towers is that I like is that when you lose, they cook you all the way out that tower.
Mhm.
So it's not like the regular towers, like you lost the fight, go back in, fight them. You out. So
Start
whether
from the bottom.
How do y'all press the buttons? Because I'll be up in here like this, and then
I turn it to the side, cause stop playing
I'll
with
I'll
me.
be like this.
I don't turn it to
Not
the side.
really.
I just
roll
rub
mine.
my
Yeah,
thumb
roll my
over
thumb
it.
across all four really fast. That's
Yeah.
all you
I-
gotta do.
I turn mine to
Literally.
the
It's a
side.
roll. I thought you
Yeah,
I
had to
roll
press
my
all
thumb
at the same
across.
time.
I
I mean, but you still pressing all the buttons though. You just rubbing your thumb
Yeah,
across all of them real fast.
So are we
Just
dumb?
roll your
Because I was
thumb.
doing the same thing you was
I'll
doing,
do it.
Ryan.
So y'all turn your
I'll
controller to the
do it.
side.
I was
Have
turning
you-
No,
it
that's
to
that's
the
just
your
side.
much.
They said press all the buttons at the same time.
That's what
But
it
like,
looks
You
like.
know-
it's easier when you roll your thumb through the four buttons. Like
You
you
don't-
roll it in a circle. Like
I don't think
So
you
you
gotta
just
press
over
them
here
all.
doing this.
I don't think you gotta press them all at the same
at the
time.
same
You just
time, you just press them.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
you don't have to press
Y'all-
all of them at the
that's
same
cap.
time. You just
all
have
four
to press
buttons
them
don't have to go
once.
down at the same
Y'all-
time each time. You just have
Y'all
to press the
niggas
buttons.
lying.
Which way when you roll your thumb
Yeah,
and it'll do a circle, it builds up. Like
that's why them folks was down from that point. Food was like, let me turn my controller, y'all.
Because I was over here.
Hold on,
trying to press my thumb with
y'all.
my
I'm
thumb
on
at
the
first.
way. I got the controller like this.
Yeah.
Hold on, y'all. I'm on the way.
I was trying to figure out how to do it without cramping my fingers and everything.
yeah, just roll your thumb over the four buttons. Just roll,
Yeah.
just like that. Quicker though, a little quicker, and just you got it. Yeah,
Hey,
you
but I
got it.
do like that they brought back Test Your Mic though.
Yeah, I love Test Your Mic.
That's-
I wish they had Test Your Sight though. That was lit.
But I really like that Invaders mode. They change it up a lot. Like it's like if you don't know what to expect. Like once you get like in a tower, so you know what to expect from the tower. But then they got this thing called secret fights. Like you in the middle of the tower, and they talking about a secret fight. So now you got to beat a person that wasn't even part of the tower.
Ooh, them secret fights be so hard. Ooh, they come in there throwing bombs.
And it's
on
like
the
it's
secret
different
fights.
challenges because what they do in Invaders mode, which is going back to the fact like this is a really good way for you to like get good with your characters, learn different combos, and like really practice like your offense and defense. Because in Invaders mode, some of the characters when they're highlighted a certain color, you can't hit them. You have to find like they'll turn a different color, and that's when you have to find the opening to hit them.
Yeah, get your timing right and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
don't
if-
get that timing right, they'll tell you up.
So
They tell
with
me-
me, they do. They really do. But like me, I'm always a really offense heavy Mortal Kombat
Me
player.
too.
So getting into Invaders mode and realizing that you're gonna have to block.
Right, you gotta block. You gotta time it.
You're
Like, you
going
can't
to
belt
have-
press.
You're
when I
going
first
to have to block.
when I
Yeah,
first
that's
get
for
one
the
against
button
Raiden, he
smashers.
told me up with them things.
Yeah.
I was like, let
That's for the-
me back up. Let me back.
So I think with
I really like
this,
that too.
with this being a replacement for the crypt, I think they succeeded in
Mhm.
making a replayable mode that has a lot of variation to it and has good
Mhm.
rewards on the back end as well.
Mhm.
Because the challenges get harder as you
Mhm.
progress. The
As
characters,
as your character gets stronger, the people you fight get stronger too. So
well, you have to look at some of the towers too. Like some of the towers require you to be like a certain
Right.
level.
yeah, and I was gonna say another thing, like, and I like how they implement like each character has their own like element. So you have to pay attention to like the elements. So if you a fire guy going against the ice element, but if you magic going against ice, you finna lose because magic really don't do nothing against ice. If you like a fighter and you going against fire, you finna lose because it's just I really had to pay attention to that because I was wondering why I was losing a lot of fights, and I was like, oh, the elements. Like, let me go in there. You change your characters and pick which elements. Then you got the cameo elements that match with the main character element. Like, it's really a lot that goes into it if you like really sit down and pay attention
Yeah.
to it.
I think it tests all areas of the game as well.
Makes it more strategic too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It makes you really like having to like stop being a button masher,
Yeah,
learn some
ain't no button mashing in
controls,
invasion mode.
learn how to block.
Because I just
Mhm.
bounce combos over and over again. That's all I
Oh
do.
no.
I learned like 6 good combos. I'm like, I know which order I'm gonna hit them in.
And you don't get
Mhm.
your ass whooped 6 good times too. You gotta weigh, you gotta block, you gotta time, you gotta give them a
Yeah.
chance to throw theirs off and block. You gotta do all that.
But
Like, you
it
can't just
but
throw
it
it.
really helps though,
It does
honestly.
help.
Because like when I first played, I did the campaign mode and then I played like a couple towers. And then it was kind of like, okay, but then invaders mode, you learn all these different strategies and stuff. And it's like, okay, I feel this. I think this was a really good replacement to the crib.
Yeah, I do too. 100%.
So I hope they continue to keep invaders mode going forward.
So what about customization? Because obviously I ain't went through evasions, but like say for Lee May, all I can modify was her wrist and then change her colors. Is that it? Like
So there's a section in the game, like if you go out of invaders mode and if you go to customization, you can buy them different fits. You can unlock fits and you can buy fits using the coins. And the way that you can get most of your coins is through invaders mode. So I've bought Scorpion like 2 fits. I didn't bought
I done went
May a
shopping
new
for
fit.
Tanya. We went to the mall.
Melina a new fit. You can buy them new weapons. I done bought
So that's
Scorpion.
after a certain point. I got to get out of Johnny Cage's house in Invasion.
Yeah, you gotta get out of
you
Johnny
gotta
Cage.
get out of there because that's where you really get that. Because that's what me and King were saying. Like it really gets real once you step out of that tutorial mode.
But I'm gonna keep saying, walk around there and learn as much as you can. Because once you get out, they're not gonna let you back in there.
Yeah,
I just
what you don't know is what you don't know. So, and he gave me one. He was like, "Are you sure you want to leave? You haven't finished everything in here." And I was like, "Boy, let me up out of here, got out of there." And I was like, "Ooh,
maybe I should have listened."
I thought they were just playing.
I think the fits. I think the fits are really cool. The other thing that I noticed is that they're doing like seasonal stuff. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but like all of the fits that you can get right now are very like fall, like red, yellow, orange.
The orange, yeah.
So everybody's fit is based off that color scheme, but they're doing seasonal stuff. So whenever the next season is like winter, it'll be a new color scheme, new set of outfits, new stuff, new things that you can buy for your character.
I get excited for that. I want to see what they got up their sleeve. Switch up the fits a little bit.
And
after I play Assassin's Creed and Spider-Man.
So once I tested with Antoine, so the customizations which your character does travel with your account. So I signed in on Antoine's PS5 and was able to get the Scorpion customization that I had.
But it's always been like that though. Like that's why I always sign in when I be wanting to play with y'all. Like,
but I just wanted to make sure because they don't have variations.
Well, variations wouldn't carry over. Remember, King, like when you was playing somebody else's game, you signed in, it wouldn't carry over your custom variation.
But when I used to sign in on Porsche PS4, like my
it carried over. His stuff was there on mine.
Maybe that's an Xbox thing.
Yeah, PS5 transferred over. Yeah, but I just wanted to. I just wanted to.
But I get what you said.
Just because they didn't have variations, my Scorpion was clean, and I was like, I don't want to hop on Antoine console. And I gotta play with this man in this yellow outfit. No, I want my stuff.
He had that shit on.
But I also dislike about the customization is MK11 characters customization was it. Like it went down to your mood.
I loved MK11 customization.
Like, MK1 customization is so basic. Like
it just change your outfit, change your weapon.
Yeah, but MK11 it went down to like your moves, your special moves, your throws. Like it went down to the nitty gritty with it.
I made Jade my. I love customization at MK11 so much. I had like 4 different outfits.
I gotta
Jade,
get it,
but with the same variation, same skill sets. But I just want to pick a different outfit to whoop somebody.
My girl Sonya had like 4 different variations too. That's why I gotta sign in on mine because I'm gonna get the sign that I dressed up. I dressed it up to make it real for y'all, and I'm gonna play
like, I remember there'll be like certain pieces. They'll tell you got to beat a certain tower. I remember Jade had like that little mask that looked like it was from The Mask. I was like, once that tower come up, I'm beating it, bro, instantly.
Yeah, that's what I do miss though. The detail of the variation, the customization.
I wonder just because it just happened. I do wonder like when these other outfits and stuff come in, how does that's gonna like work? Because right now it's just set on this season, and you gotta wait for the next one to come on before you can get some more stuff. Did anybody play online?
I have.
So how was that?
Yeah, I know I had to step out there. It's the same as online for just like the rest of them. They pair you with somebody that they base using your stats and you fight. But I feel like this time they do a good algorithm or however I'm not really a tech person does a good better job of pairing you with somebody that's on your level. Because that was my biggest thing. Like, don't pair with somebody that's been playing MK1 since it dropped months ago. Like, they just all they do is play it. They paired with people that's like, they had like 2-3 wins, like me, a couple losses, who was on the same level. And it felt like it. Like, that's what I really liked about it. Like, they do a better good job of the sync up and the pairing versus, especially on 10. MKX, they just throw you out there. You get who you get, and you fight who you fight.
Good looking.
11 was a little better, but this was a whole lot better.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't stepped out
But
on
yeah, it's
mine
the
yet.
same. They got the combat. I forgot what it's called, where you got to win a certain amount of matches in a certain time. They got the private rooms. It's always like a Ryan. You do got a PS5, so all four of us want to hop on. We can make our own private room and play King of the Hill. Stuff like that.
Is it cross platform? Because I got MK1 on my Xbox, but is it cross platform?
I don't think I think I remember something coming out that it wasn't cross platform, but they were working on it.
Yeah, I read that too, but it's not yet.
Okay.
Which I kind of feel like is a missed opportunity too, because why not?
Right.
Anytime anything ain't cross platform, I think it's stupid. I don't see.
Right, because imagine if it was
still be a conversation. Yeah,
because we could start a tournament from the comfort of our own homes and play.
Because it's not an
that would be a Blerd Mob streaming video right there. Look at the Blerd Mob tournament. Like everybody nodded. They was like, "Yeah, we was gonna make money off that."
Yeah,
I mean, it's not uncommon for crossplay at this moment, so I don't know why they wouldn't have invested in that. Like I said, I think all the investment went into Invaders mode.
Yeah, they did. Let me say this though, and I'm pretty sure I probably talked about this on the episode. They have to do the Switch like that. Now I get to get in here and speak. They not have to do the Nintendo Switch like that for MK1. They so wrong for that. I went in Walmart the other day and I saw the game inside of Walmart and wanted to break the glass. Why y'all selling it? For $69.00. Why y'all selling it?
We done been attacked about talking smack about the Switch.
I want there. Let me say this.
You can go. I support you. Do it.
They so wrong for that, and the fact that they charge some people the same amount that they charge us. Well, I bought the I paid $100, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But the amount of money I got to pay for this game on the Switch is ridiculous. $69 to look like that. MKX, I had to pull up my MK11 on my Switch just to make sure I wasn't going crazy. The graphics on MK11 on that Switch look so much better than one. That's ridiculous. And that's all I got to say. I digress. That's the best.
Sage, you still out there?
That is a fool.
I mean, he talked about the game, not this.
That should have charged them. I would have, if Ed Boon, if you listen, I know you probably not listening, probably got better things to do, but listen, I would have charged some people $24.99 for that little Switch.
I told you.
And put out a disclaimer, be like, y'all, it may not be cute, but y'all got it. $25, it's not cute, but here y'all go. Y'all ask for
I already
Mortal Kombat is egregious.
Not even 30, 40, 25. He said 24. He said
$25 for Mortal Kombat is egregious.
Say said. He said he's here. He was just reporting the stream. He heard Nintendo and went straight for that report button. I already said what Ed Boon and them should have did. They should have taken the L and just told them the game wasn't ready. They would have gotten a better response if they just told them that the game wasn't ready, came back with what they wanted the game to look like. They were gonna lose. Some people were gonna ask for their money back. But if they came out with a better product, they would have just made that money back because everybody been like, okay, I get it. I see what y'all was trying. Y'all just need a little more time to get this right.
But maybe even based on MK11 on the Switch, they could have just left it alone. Everything ain't got to be on the Switch. We ain't got to have that on the Switch because MK11 was barely making it. Y'all see how they looked when we was in Texas? That was a mess. That was a mess. Y'all barely made it with that. Then y'all want to keep the ball. Y'all can left that alone. We not playing Mario Kart on PlayStation 5. So why y'all had to switch over to the Switch? So we not playing Mario Party on the Xbox. Like, so some games don't need to some games
we not playing Mario Kart on the PS.
Like, we not. Like, some games don't need to. The MK don't need to switch over to Switch. So I got too much going on in y'all graphics. But that little bitty ass game I got in there, like it's too much going on. It be freezing. Even with 11, it be freezing. It just look a mess. So like I wouldn't dare. Like I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, girl.
Say said he called them folks. He said there are 5 SUVs. I was like,
well, let me roll my last one and go out like a G because I'm gonna say no that because Nintendo is wrong for that. Like they wrong. They are wrong.
Y'all
for
sleep. MK1 on the Switch gonna pull a Cyberpunk 2077. Y'all gonna see
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They gonna bounce back.
They
Whatever
could have
update,
waited though.
whatever up. I agree, but we said this on the podcast. I think it got to the wire because somebody seen that game. Ain't nobody, them folks who bought it on that Switch, somebody seen that game before they did. But I think it just came down to the wire where everybody just bought it, bought it out, and they had to release it. They just had to release it.
They just need some time. It's gonna pull a Cyberpunk.
But I think whatever updates they got in place, I think it's gonna look better than what it did. It's still not gonna look like PS5 and Xbox Series X, but it is gonna look like what it was. It's gonna look better than what it is right now.
They could have waited. They wrong for that, man. Every time I go back into the videos, I get so mad. Like, why would y'all? Why? And I did it. I bought MK on the Switch. I was say, who said something about MK on the Switch? But the only reason I bought MK on my Switch because that jump was like $7. And why not? Why not? I had a full-fledged MK game for full price on the Switch.
I will say this though.
What I want. Give me a Switch.
I will say this though. I agree with you, but even though I talk my smack, a multiplayer focused game like Mortal Kombat, where the real joy in it comes against playing against your homeboys and fighting it out.
That's a Switch game.
Can be taken better advantage of on the Switch. The Switch
is a family. Their whole thing is a family console. Play with your friends console.
The Switch is the only game that supports sitting on the couch with your friends, like games from back in the ages of old.
But
games don't support that no more.
But at the same time, I really don't feel the difference because MK is only a 2-player game now. They do MK where like 4 people can play at one time. Of course, you're hopping on the Switch, everybody gets the controller, but it's still a 2-player game. But
Gavin, you can do that on that. You with the Switch, you can do it on the plane. We flying out to Vegas for somebody B-Day. We can play Mortal Kombat. We out here on the strip. We out here at DreamCon. We can sit here and play it. You know
that's true. Play on the plane.
The marketing is there. The reasoning is there.
It's there, but
I just feel like they should.
The
execution was bad. I definitely think they should have pushed it back, or just told them it wasn't ready. You was gonna catch some heat, but it would have turned out being a better situation because now them folks just sitting with that sorry ass game and they don't know when the update coming.
Right.
Gavin said it should have been $25. That's the caption right there.
Hey, that's the OG.
Hey,
that's 2,000 Game Boy Advance prices right there.
Look, no, that is the clickbait right there. This should have been $25.
It should have been
get everybody pissed off.
MK1 on Switch should have been $24.95.
Not $24.95, not even $99.
Not even $99 no more.
Not even $99.
You're not even.
Hey, that's a used game.
No, for real.
That's with your product after the first week of playing, you get your money back. That's how bad that was.
That's a used game. $24.95. That's that made up price that GameStop be slapping with them GameStop stickers.
Hey, I mean the way
that's what they give you when you trade in a game before it's a month old.
Right.
The way that game looks. I would have been mad by paying $25 for that shit. Had I paid $25, I cut that on, and I did a brutality in the head, sat there beside the person I just uppercutted. Like, it just would have pissed me off. If I would have opened this game up and Melina's face looked like that on my TV in there, I would have been pissed off.
Would have cut it off.
Well, no,
I probably wouldn't
do it like how they was doing. Like,
I probably wouldn't have been able to sit there and play through that storyline. The graphics bad, and I gotta listen to Megan Fox, please.
I'm so glad she barely got any lines.
She
I'm
barely
gonna be
got
honest.
any.
Everybody else sounds like this, and here go. I'm going to kill you. I'm a bloodsucker, and I'm another girl. Get out of here. What?
Yeah.
Everybody else.
I'm glad she had. I'm glad she had a real smart part. And then, honestly, what was her purpose? If we're gonna be truly honest, what was Nitara's purpose in this storyline?
That's what I said about the Ashura girl too. There's a few folks up in here
that was just in there for S&G.
They was just in there. They brought them back because nostalgia. Ashura, Lee May is a nostalgia character.
But Lee May had more depth. But Lee May had more depth than the other two.
They did, but they brought a lot of characters back for nostalgia.
Lee May had a good part. She was relevant. Ashura,
she just popped up. Ashura just popped up. She's just like
she did.
She's like,
she in the forest.
Somebody said I don't know how to pronounce this. Hughes NBC games trash review over. I wouldn't say it's trash.
I wouldn't say
It
garbage.
it
It
got
ain't the
invasion and
it ain't the
multiplayer.
best. It ain't the best MK game, but it ain't
It's not the
trash boo boo
worst.
Yeah,
garbage.
Yeah, I
I
this
might
like
play it
playing
this
it. Like,
weekend. I might hop
yeah,
on the Vegas mode
it's
after
not better
this.
than 10 and 11. I would say it's like
Right.
similar to 9 in terms of like with
It
invasion. It's
ain't
a little bit better than 9. It's top 5, top
it
3.
ain't trash boo boo garbage, but it
Yeah,
ain't the
it's
best
not.
Mortal Kombat game. That Invasions mode is gonna keep it alive. The fact that
Yeah,
they talking about
Invasion mode
a
got it.
fact that they talking about a season 2 of Invasions mode, that's gonna keep it
They
alive
got
right
it. They
there. They
got
got
it. They
it.
got it.
It's
That's gonna
it's
keep it
solid.
alive right there.
Once more
My
people
rating
start
is
diving
solid.
into it, I feel like this Invasion was gonna get big. A lot of people just sleeping on it right now because like they don't know what
It
it's
got to
gonna
be
be
I
big
big.
really
about.
just think it's that tutorial. In
Yeah,
my honest opinion, that tutorial didn't need to be that long.
it didn't, but I feel like it's useful though. Once I got out there, I was like, I see
But I
why they
mean,
did that.
but the things that they teach you though could have been
Yeah,
5 battles and we could have been out of there.
yeah, right. Yeah.
While we I didn't did about 15, 20 battles up in Johnny Cage house and this is a tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely say if anybody who's listening or watching was like, I want really, fooling with Invaders mode because being in Johnny Cage house just wasn't given. I feel you, but I do
Mm-hmm.
encourage you to push past Johnny Cage house and get to the next stage because that's when it gets
Mm-hmm.
lit.
Yeah.
I I'll say this in closing. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, get it. Buy the game. If you kind of like Mortal Kombat, you just need like a little fighting game to keep you entertained. Wait till the Black Friday deals kick in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or when the PlayStation store get their little sale
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
on.
Black Friday right around the corner. It's going to be like $39.99. Wait till then. It's a good game, but wait till
Yeah.
then.
It ain't the best. I'm not mad that I bought,
Yeah, I was saying I'm not
I'm
mad
not
that I
mad
bought
that I
it.
bought it.
yeah.
But
I'm gonna
like if
click on this controller some more, but
but I agree with Ryan. Like if you were
yeah.
kind of on edge on getting this game, buy it on sale.
Yeah, honestly, Tekken might throw down the gauntlet. We gonna see in January though.
I'm gonna say this about Tekken. Tekken's storyline makes 0 sense. I'm being so honest with y'all. Tekken's
That's true.
storyline makes 0 sense. So if that online in that local, and if I don't even know if they're gonna put in another game mode. I know they do. They have some other game mode that's similar to Mortal Kombat where they put character endings at the end, but I forgot what it's called. But them three gonna have to shine because that story is not gonna make a lick of sense.
Tekken has a very intense story, and I don't even know for real. I've had to watch like the YouTube videos where they summarize it like
I've
two or
had to
three
watch the
times.
YouTube videos because I
Mm-hmm.
played a couple of the Tekken games. Oh, what's going on?
I've been playing Tekken since like PlayStation 2, and I barely know the story.
Now, what I'm saying, like the story's not coherent. That's who need a reboot. Cause what are y'all talking about?
Exactly, need a reboot.
Cause what are y'all talking about? But I don't. The Tekken's graphics look damn good. So
Phenomenal.
I'm really excited about the gameplay. I mean, I'm gonna play the story because it's there, but like I'm not counting on the story to be what takes it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I had. Was there? We did King's Tangent on the switchboard, but did anybody
yeah, I'm sorry to take us down that road because they wrong for that. They wrong.
But did anybody else have anything that they wanted to say regarding Mortal Kombat 1?
Woo!
Not woo.
Yeah.
But all right, let's go
Yeah,
ahead
yeah.
and shut this down. So one, I want to thank all three of you guys, Ryan, King, and Antoine, for joining me on another episode of the Blur Mob podcast. I also want to thank everybody who tuned into the stream, who was commenting and interacting with us. And if you're listening to this later or watching this later, thank you for watching and or listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit those bell notifications to get future uploads. If you're watching this on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. And if you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you like the page and share the video. Let us know how you felt about our mob review of Mortal Kombat 1. This is actually our first video game mob review recording. We usually just post them on social media. So let us know how you felt about our opinions on Mortal Kombat 1, as well as your opinions on us doing this mob review format for a video game using our hashtag join the mob nerds. make sure you send us a donation. I figured out what was going on with my mic, but if you still want to send a donation, I'll take it. But
I want one of them Shure mics, the real nice ones that all the good big podcasters got. I want one of them.
But
a little angry.
Please considering donating. We put in a lot of money. We gonna get to say just but we do, we put a lot into this podcast as far as like the software that we use, our equipment, and just doing everything to give you guys some good quality content. So please consider donating using our Ko-fi link. The setup is expensive.
Sage got one of them Shure mics. I want one of them. Make that my Christmas gift.
And then check out, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you check out our recently released episodes at linktr.ee/theblerdmobpod releases. You can also check out the bio on our social media pages, which I will pull up in a minute. Ralph's not here, so here I go. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at the Blerd Mob Pod, on X or Twitter, whatever you would like to call it, at the Blerd Mob. Find us on Facebook at the Blerd Mob Podcast, as well as TikTok at the Blerd Mob Podcast. We're also on Threads at the Blerd Mob Pod. So, with that being said, we got a couple more contents. Say said King sleep tight.
Don't do me like that. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. I had to get that off my chest. There's Nintendo wrong for that.
He said that mic that you want, Ryan, the setup is $700.
Yeah, it's expensive. The mic alone is like $250 or $230.
Listen,
good Lord.
For those who were considering donating, Ryan's $700 microphone is the last thing on the list. So please know that your donations will be going to
the mic is the most important part.
But I'm just saying, Ryan, we got to pay for the software. Your mic is useless if we can't pay for the software.
What about mics? What if we all want a $700 mic?
That's right.
all about you.
Get them donations up. Donate. We need 5 Shure mics. Everybody on the mob. 100.
I need a new camera. Look at my camera, y'all. Y'all just want to donate.
I want a 4K camera too. This little 1080 stuff.
Say said Ryan, just come over and borrow mine.
That's all I had to do.
That's sweet.
That's brotherhood, right? The comments over on is over there.
Oh, please.
That's brotherhood right there.
Please. But with that being said, and all hearts and minds content, this is the mob checking out. Peace.
Hands up. If you loving where you at, stand 10 toes down. Sure, there ain't no looking at.